Right, so in the video I made yesterday, I created this little script to control the hallway lights. So what we basically got it to do was turn the lights to 100% white after sunset and before 10 o'clock. And if there's no motion, they then fade out for 5 minutes. And after 10 o'clock and before sunrise, they then change to, I think it's blue, 40%, and if there's no motion for 30 seconds, they'd switch off. So basically, it was this setup here. What I thought I'd do is see if we can do it with AI, because sometimes Gemini can be useful at creating scripts. It certainly does it quickly, but it doesn't always do it correctly. I've seen quite a few times when it just makes up commands that just don't exist, or it doesn't understand what you're saying, or you have to tweak it. But for those of you who don't want to write scripts, then you might want to use Gemini, but you can't always trust it, which is weird because it's Google Home and it's obviously Google Gemini, but Gemini doesn't seem to know what Google Home can and can't do. But this is quite simple. So I've written this out here so we can just copy and paste it. There's two ways you can write scripts. Well, there's multiple, but two ways within Google that I know of. So you can, I'll just move myself out of the way. You can add a new script, and then here there's like a helper. But this isn't really AI as such, and not like Gemini is. It doesn't really understand what you're saying quite as much, so it does struggle sometimes. Let's try Gemini first. So with Gemini, we could probably just ask it to do everything. Hi, so if that's I wish to write a script. As I said, I can't spell. In Google Home, using so to do the following. Let's see what it comes up with. Okay, so let's see what it does. So obviously it doesn't know the exact name of the motion sensors. So what we'll do for now, we'll just give you a little copy button. Let's try sticking that directly into here. So we just delete everything here. And then just replace it with the script that we've just been given by Gemini. Yeah, 18 errors found. Oh, so to be fair, some of these errors are the fact that the devices don't exist. So let's just change it to one of our devices. It doesn't matter which one. The Hall motion sensor. Let's stick with Hall for now. So any device names which needs to change in, because obviously, like I said, you can tell it what the device names are, and it will write the script with those names. But as I haven't, and it actually says replace me. Look, which is a bit of a giveaway. So let's replace. But you see, I can see already though. There's errors that aren't anything to do with the device name. Let's just just this one to do now. So those are all replaced. If we just validate it now, So we can still see, this is the problem. Look, it's, oh hang on, that one wasn't replaced. That's my fault. So it doesn't. I don't understand why, but it just doesn't know how things are set. So it should say hallway motion. Device state motion detection, hallway motion sensor, or state motion not detected. See, this just isn't written right at all. So just to show you what it should be, the reason I'm showing you this is because people just think you can just use AI and it just scripts, and maybe some do, but Gemini, I don't know what it is. I've had arguments with it because it just seems to just make things. It literally just seems to make things up. So if we typed in the word motion, this gives us these two down here actually talk about doorbells, so they don't relate for motion sensors. It's actually these two. So I always use device state, which is what it's used as well. So if you type that in, it will give you the options. So device state, that's written on automatically. When it's missed, Gemini's missed that bit out. Look, this second part where it says state. In fact, when it says state, it's just written motion. And see what it says is not detected, which should be is false. So what it's written just won't work. You can then, it has got the 4 right, because you have to write that in. So 4. "30 seconds. And then the device, obviously, it doesn't really, it doesn't matter for the test of the hallway motion sensor. But so this is, it just repeats little mistakes like this all the time. It just thinks state is motion. It can read the documents that Google or Home provide, and it should know that this is not what it should be doing at all. Not detected. Device command light sleep. Let me just read this. So actions type. Is that command wrong? Is that what it's saying? Let me just try this, because we just put here actions. No, I'm making so you've got to leave the space there. Actions type and then sleep. Device command light effect sleep. That's what it should say. Device command light effect. Light effect sleep. 5 minutes. That's the minimum you can do. And then the device. Just choose a random one. So what is it put? Where did it put it? So sleep. Device command light sleep, or maybe it's just that. Sorry, in fairness, it might just be my fault. No, because it's device command light sleep. That is correct, but then it hasn't then written the duration in. So because of that, that won't work. So it's not like it's a train wreck. I mean, you do it quickly, so you can sort it out. I think it could work for you, but the trouble is you already have to know what you got to write in the first place, so you might just write it yourself. The only thing is if it's a real long script, so pages worth, then obviously Gemini can do it loads faster, and then you can sort it out afterwards. But otherwise, if you don't know what you're doing, it's just no help, because it just generates something that doesn't work. It seems to do it every single time for me, to the point where I've just stopped using it. I still ask it questions to see, do you know if you can do this and this? And it go, yeah, you can do this. And it writes the scripts out, and then it just doesn't work at all. So the other way of doing it, like I said, let's just clear this, because let me just move myself out of the way. I'm going to clear this one off. Just discard any changes. I'm going to add a new one, and this time I'm going to use the helper. So I'm going to try and dump everything in there to start with, but I don't think that's going to work. So we might end up doing one at a time, but let's see if we can do it. No, let's get rid of this. I'm going to keep opening it on accident. Okay, so I've copied everything. I'm going to put that in as a prompt. Now this one, the scripts are more likely to work, but it's less likely to understand actually what you're saying. The script has errors, copy it to the editor and select validate and try them. So even its own helper tells you there's errors in the script that it's written, which is just I don't I don't understand why it even does that. Control A, delete, Control V. So let's press validate and then see what mistakes we got on this one. Oh, it's only one error in fairness. Oh, really? Hang on, have I missed something? No. Device type, device state. Right, just this on it alone doesn't make any sense. Whenever you write whenever you write any kind of script, you do a starter and an action. You can have a condition if you want, but you have to have a start and action. So basically, when I do this, this happens. And the condition is, when I do this, this happens, but only if it's daytime or only if this device is on or something like that. It's written the starter and the condition, but no action. So straight away it's like, okay, it's written okay, but it's not going to do anything. It's like there's nothing, apparently nothing below that. That is the script. Let me just copy it here, just in case for some reason we can't scroll any lower. Let's delete this. Is that okay? No, it's literally that. So what have we got? So device state, motion detected, hallway motion is true. Time is between, it's after sunset and 22. It's got that bit right. Actions and turns the hallway light on. So it's done that bit. And the brightness is correct as well. It hasn't done the colour, but then to be fair, neither did I. It doesn't need to turn it on, to be fair, because the brightness would turn it on anyway. This one is device state. Device state motion detection. It hasn't said for 30 seconds, look, so it's missed that bit out. It's got the after sunset, that's correct, but it just hasn't bothered writing the rest of it. Let's try just taking one of these, because it obviously hasn't, it's only dealt with this one, if anything. And let's just start again, just so it doesn't, because sometimes I found with Gemini more so, once you get stuck at a certain thing, you keep asking questions, you just won't, it will just keep doing the same thing. So if you start new conversations, sometimes that helps. Let's see if we can do this. With the fact that it wrote the script and said, oh, the script has errors. That would probably work. Let's have a look, because this is fairly good at dealing with one thing at a time. So sunset 10 o'clock, hallway motion. So device 100%. That'll work. Cool. It's similar to what I did. It's left out the bright white bit. Let's try. So when there's no motion for 5 minutes, I'm going to sleep the lights. Let's see if we can do that. Now it's not that Gemini got overloaded. Gemini understood what I asked. It seemed to understand everything I asked it to do. It wrote a script. It wrote a script for everything I asked it to do. Everything it wrote just wouldn't have worked. This one, it's already said the script has got errors, so that doesn't look good. So device state motion landing. True. Okay. So this one, just double check. I asked when no motion detected. See, it's gone true. So we'll have to change that to false and change that to 30 seconds. So it's made a mistake, but that's not massive. And it just turns the light off when we've asked it to sleep. At least that script works. I mean, it's wrong, but it works. What it's saying is at the moment, when it detects motion for 30 seconds, the light would turn off. So that's going to be annoying. Because the light's going to turn on when it detects motion, but if you're walking past it for more than 30 seconds, it's just going to turn off. So it's not what we asked it to do. So my point being, really, is even the most basic scripts, which is turn the light on when you see motion, turn the light off when you don't, both Gemini, one of the world's most powerful AI systems, can't write a functional script that does it, and the helper doesn't really understand what you're asking. I find that most of the time. This one does write functional working scripts, you just haven't got a clue what you're talking about. And the Gemini knows exactly what you're talking about, can't write a functional script. So what I'm saying is, at the moment, for now anyway, if you want to do your automations, you're either going to need to get someone to do it for you if you just haven't got a clue. Learn how to do it yourself, get Gemini to do it, or some of the things you can do in the basic script. The basic automator. So on your Google Home app, you have like a basic one where you can just say, when this happens, do that. But it is basic, and it won't let you do quite a lot of things. But for just turning the lights on and off at certain times, you can definitely good at doing this. But if you're trying to get AI to help you, I know from my experience anyway, Gemini is just useless when it comes to doing most scripts. It's good at coming up with some ideas that you might not have thought of, but actually getting it to work, you have to do a bit more research yourself, because it just doesn't seem to know how to write functional scripts for some reason, even though it was made by Google. Oh well. Anyway, that's my point.